if you were to unveil all of the crimes, the criminals, the deceit, and it goes even beyond that, you can share all the information in the world. You can unveil that this system is the deepest, darkest entity that you could imagine, and people would still follow it because of their fear of the unknown, because of the fear of themselves, to take responsibility for your own life, to take responsibility for the growth of your own generation, to take responsibility for holding this system accountable for its actions. That's a heavy responsibility to put on somebody. And one of the biggest hurdles you're going to have to jump over in order to start and continue this process of unveiling a deeper part of yourself and unveiling a deeper understanding and overstanding of this entire situation. People cannot dive into themselves unless they release that chokehold that this system has on their ability to process information. Like a victim of Stockholm Syndrome, kidnapped, believing, loving their kidnapper, loving the criminals. This is what we're dealing with. The next to no capacity to even comprehend that they've been kidnapped, that these are criminals. So in a previous video, which is what this video will be based upon, I referenced a question of the benevolence of this system. Because it's the benevolence of this system, or the belief in the benevolence of this system, that maintains the belief that it's for our benefit, that it's even neutral and not against us. Has their benevolence been vetted? Has their credibility been confirmed? I'm going to try to burn through this list that I made, but I made a giant list, and I know I've missed some things, but I made a list to help people see more clearly that this system, its benevolence has not at all been vetted. In fact, its malevolence has been confirmed. People who have been investigating, researching, whatever it is, for however long, it doesn't take that much looking to realize that their malevolence has been more than validated. This system feeds off of a malevolent energy. So this is in no particular order. It was just written down as it came to me, and I'll try to burn through it as quickly as possible. So the first one, mass hypnosis. The mainstream media, the public education system, there's this mass hypnosis forcing people to believe in the benevolence of this system. It needs you to believe that the system is supported by God. Which God? Don't ask that question. But God in general, because the people have no real relationship with God anyway. So they can just say God generally, and that's enough for people who are completely ignorant. So what they're telling you on the mainstream media is not mass hypnosis, is what they're saying. It's for your good. They're sharing information. The news is for you to be more informed. About what? That's the question you're not supposed to ask. Informed about the systems that further your mass hypnosis, your mind control, your self-enslavement. Another new one that was part of the triggering of this video was this fat positivity movement that's out there. Body positivity movement. There's a movement out there of obese people who are pushing this idea that not only is it okay to be obese, but obesity is healthy.
There are a lot of lies that modern progressivism tells, right? And unfortunately, because a large chunk of the population is stuck on stupid, they do believe them, no matter how obviously deceptive and insane the lies are, a lot of people believe them. I consider one of the most damaging lies that is told by the establishment is that you can be healthy at any size, that you can be obese and somehow happy. And that lie has spawned the absolutely hellish movement, fat positivity.
And I am 100% glorifying obesity, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And a lot of these people are fucking dying now. These obese people who have put themselves on the internet as role models, who have been promoted by the mainstream media as they promote people like Lizzo. They've been promoted by this system, no different than the LGBTQ community has been pushed and weaponized by this system to push a particular agenda. Like I said before, the food has been weaponized. So this is one step up from that. Weaponizing the food to make you sick, make you weak, make you fat, but to take the movement of that sick relationship that people have with food, to take that idea and turn it into an entire movement is a whole different evolution of mind control. These fat positivity people are dying.
TikTok has really taken the reins and has popularized it and taken it to this over-the-top level of exposure. We get to see these people documenting their journeys, their fat journeys. And what you're starting to see is these people are dying. Literally, famous influencers within this movement are passing away.
So the idea that something like that has been promoted, pushed by this system is a red flag. These are all the red flags adding up to the lack of benevolence of this system. So mass hypnosis, body fat positivity, gender affirmation, the idea that you can just change your gender. These are chaos pills, prescription drugs for chaos, designed for people to eat themselves, the mind to eat itself. Pushing, this is not just a little thing that's out there. Like I said, with the LGBTQ movement promoted by the system, this gender affirmation mechanism is part of their tentacles that they have inside the minds of your children in the public education system. This has been weaponized through public education, gender affirmation. They're affirming your reality, your fairy tale reality, just as they affirm the fairy tale reality of heliocentrism. Whatever it is that you want to believe about your gender is now affirmed in the eyes of that system, creating a divide between the parents and the children, and creating a relationship with those children and the system through the teachers, through the public education system administration, through them saying, "Come with us. We welcome you with open arms. If you feel like you're no longer a man and you're a woman, and your parents don't approve of that, come with us. We love you." They're building an army. This is no different than the system calling Europeans who came over here as so-called settlers, changing them from what they were before they got here to white. We will affirm your race. In fact, we will neutralize it. You are no longer limited to what people have talked down to you about back in the old world. That's the old world. This is the new world now. You're no longer Irish. You're no longer a filthy, stinking Irish like the slaves we have here in the new world. No, you're no longer like them. You're like us. You are white. They are black. You are divine. They are animalistic at best. They are the spawn of Satan. They deserve to be lynched. They deserve to be strung up in chains and put to work. That's the best that they have. We have the brain, they have the brawn. We put their brawn to work with our brain, and we can rule this world. But we have to make them forget who they really are. So enter in white supremacy, another system that has been swept under the rug and forgotten about as a means to maintain the idea of benevolence, the idea of changing, evolution, evolving, the idea of the new world. They can do the most heinous dark, violent acts. They can do whatever they want as long as they change, as long as they don't do it again, as long as they evolve. Even if they do it again, they'll still have a pass. This is why so-called white people in the system, even outside the system, but on television, so for everybody to see, they have a pass for everything. They can be crackheads, they can be criminal, they're rapists, they can do whatever they want. And they will still get their movie deals. They will still get all the love and support from these systems. But if you fuck up, you do the exact same thing. In fact, you do something that's 10 degrees lighter than what somebody else did, you get not only the book thrown at you, you get thrown under the jail. So it's not only just the belief in this system, it's the group of people that believe so deeply in this system. This is why Republicans, the whitest political group in the whole world, have been weaponized and elevated, put on a pedestal. They were, back when Democrats were king shit in our community, Republicans were the worst fucking things out there. They were hated. They were all about the rich people and racism and keeping things the old way. And they still are in many regards. But it's the whole nature, the whole belief in that system at all, that Democrats and Republicans are your only two options. It's the belief in that overall. It's not just Republicans or Democrats. It's the belief in that system at all. I was just listening to a video just yesterday about this podcast of people with Alex Jones on it, talking about the next presidential election and how they're thinking, oh, it's going to be Gavin Newsom and Michelle Obama. This is what I'm talking about the belief in this system, the maintaining of the growth of this system. They're doing nothing more than what progressives did a few years ago. Now it's individual podcasts. So they're not only evolving what they say, they're evolving how they're saying through the people that are saying it to make it look like it's from you. Progressives were amplified, like the LGBTQ community were amplified in the minds of the masses once they realized that people were no longer falling for the Democrats and Republicans storyline anymore. So they enter in progressives. Now progressives are dying out. Now they're entering in this new type of Republican backed by podcasters and masculine influencers and the red pill movement and all that other shit, that whatever they invent out there for people to be distracted by is no different than the mainstream media. So within those systems that they evolve are still white supremacy that is not being dealt with, that is not being seen as interwoven into this system, and it's being deflected from when people just jump to, okay, well, what are we going to do now? We just have to vote for a president. What are you getting distracted by race and racism for? We have to protect what? By voting? This is the energy that's out there. For you to even question this system is a crime. And then they back that up by trying to make you think that you have some kind of freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of speech. Look at how many things have been censored over the internet. Almost daily, a video of mine on my channel is being taken down under whatever umbrella of terms that they've said that my videos have crossed the line on. These new policies that they're inventing to hide information. The very fact that that exists is another proof that there is not a shred of benevolence in this system. Not even in the people that you think are on your team. So they install this whiteness, blackness. These are the good guys. These are the bad guys. You want to be successful? You want to be a part of the new world? You're white. Come to this country. Achieve the American dream. We've all known. We all know that's all bullshit. The American dream failed. Part of a failed system. But people believe in it. They love it. Another reason that this system is held afloat above the rest of the world. Oh, you're a first world country? How? Illusion. Well, once that illusion starts to fall, what are you really? Climate change. Another illusion. Bullshit. How much money has gone into it? How many politicians are pushing this to seem benevolent? We care about the earth. We care about you. You know what? We care so much about you. We're going to spend billions of fucking dollars to build a laser to protect you from an asteroid. That's how much we love you, you ungrateful pieces of shit. Monkey evolution. This is still being pushed on videos. You can go on any science video right now. Somebody's going to reference monkey evolution. I just watched, just last night, Ricky Gervais stand-up on Netflix. It just dropped. Just watched that shit. One big part, one big section in his stand-up was him talking about coming from a monkey and how people who don't believe that are somehow uneducated. Heliocentrism, part of that evolution storyline. The Big Bang, spawning out pieces of slime that turn into a planet, that turn into simple-celled organism, that turn into animals, dinosaurs, monkeys, then you, and now you got a smartphone. You have to believe that story just as you have to believe the Jesus story. And once again, putting themselves as the victors of the world. Not only the world, but the universe. They've conquered the new world and civilized these savages here. The next thing they have to do in the new world of tomorrow is the space, the new space. They have to go out there and conquer and civilize these primitive, savage Martians that are out there. And whatever kind of malevolent alien that's out to get us. We fucked up this world so much, now we gotta go fuck up another world. This is part of heliocentrism, making you believe that they can do such things. This is part of what holds up their power structure. In order for you to believe in them, they have to be more powerful than you, like a leader in some kind of way, stronger, smarter, whatever it is. They have to have some kind of step up over you, the masses. Heliocentrism is the illusion put out there. Then they get people like Joe Rogan. Have you ever talked to one of these people like Neil deGrasse Tyson? They just make you feel real dumb because they're so smart. Can you believe that? And they're like, I know. Everybody's so smart and we don't stand a chance even having a conversation with them. That's how they maintain this shit. They put that out there all the time, where they're talking about heliocentrism or astrophysics or evolution or transhumanism, whatever it is. It's to maintain the separation between you and them. Democrats versus Republicans. Another invention from this democracy, so-called democracy. There's another part of this. Oh, we live in a democracy or capitalism. Here's another one. Everybody else is communists and they're all fucked up. You don't want to be like a communist. It's the same system. Capitalism and communism is like Democrats and Republicans. You don't want to be like a fucking Republican, do you? You don't want to be like you don't want to be like a Democrat, do you? You're a fucking woke asshole. You don't want to be like them. What are you, a communist? And they're even calling you this shit now. And the people are so ingrained with that belief that it becomes, they see you differently now. White people are so enveloped in how they view the world and how their people have projected the world to the people that they'll go into a so-called black community conversation and attach their labels to you. So they'll go into a conversation between, if Malcolm was alive today and speaking the way he was speaking, they'll go in to listen to what he's saying to people and they'll call him a fucking Republican. This is how far off fucking people are right now. They can't leave the box. They can't even comprehend somebody thinks differently than them. So you have arrogant, ignorant, totally mass mind controlled ass people who don't know where to put you. They don't know where to put your information, where you stand, where you come from. So since they are so enveloped in their own idea of themselves and what this system told them they are, they think their beliefs are the authority on the world. So you could be talking about the Black Panther Party and they'll call you a Republican. That's how deeply ingrained so-called white people are in this system. So we no longer have democratic values anymore because they're no longer on our side according to what they said. Now that we're saying what we're saying, they don't see that we haven't changed our talking points in the deepest part of coming back from before the civil rights time frame. We haven't changed. You assholes have changed. And you can't see that, nor do you give a fuck. So you have to project onto us as if we've changed. Oh, you're Republican. Get the fuck out of here. It depends on how they want to see you. If you're talking about race, you're a Democrat. You're woke. Why? Because Democrats have weaponized the racism discussion through Black Lives Matter and all that other bullshit that they're talking about in that woke discussion. So now Republicans, so-called white people who believe in that Republican belief system, now want to discredit your whole existence by calling you woke, by saying that you're pushing woke agendas through the... Why? Because we're talking about systems that predate your Democrat and Republican bullshit. This is how easily they switch up on you. How many years did it take for them to switch from Democrats to Republicans? This shit happened before, because back in the day, the Republicans used to be the Democrats. It was the Democrats who were in the slavery. They were deep into what we think of what Republicans are today, or 10, 15 years ago. Back then, they switched back and forth all the time in order to take the responsibility off of them as a whole. They say, oh, well, it's looking like Democrats are not polling, so they're not doing so well in the polls right now, so we're gonna have to change something. We're gonna have to switch over to Republicans again. How's that sound? Well, it's good anyway, but they're gonna believe whatever anyway, because people are fucking dumb. So let's do it. Okay, good guys are Republicans now. All right, we got it. Everybody got it. Good. Go out there and push it. So what do we call Democrats? Call them woke. Call them fascists. There you go. And then, they'll just call Republicans again racist and so on and so forth. What they've always called us, We'll just, it's okay. They don't have any power anyway, so. Capitalism. Pushing capitalism. Why? Because communism is terrible. Good guy, bad guy. Superhero, supervillain. Meanwhile, what's actually happening in the world is that the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, all under the guise of capitalism. And as if there's any difference between Russia and the United States, they're all telling the same lies. They all signed the Antarctic Treaty. They're all talking the same illusions. They all have to maintain the same storylines. There's no one better than the other. If you start talking about capitalism, they immediately want to put you in the box of communists or whatever it is that they want to call you. They even call you an anarchist. Whatever makes them feel better. Because people are so sensitive, but they want to hide it behind how bad you are. No, you're just lost. So Democrats, Republicans, capitalism, democracy, Westernism, all this shit fits into the same box. This is all stuff people believe in to maintain the benevolence, the step above everybody else in this evolution of the human experience. The belief in that maintains the ignorance for this system to evolve into the next mind control. And how they do that is with stuff like false flags, creating enemies, creating illusions. Heliocentrism, create a false idea of the universe. Vietnam, create a false illusion of an enemy. Set off the Gulf of Tonkin, send people to war. False flags across the board. Weapons of mass destruction, send them to Iraq. If the masses of people were to confirm even one of these, it would do a lot to the rest, to the acknowledgement of the rest of these programs. But this system, like a narcissist, does so much in gaslighting its people that even if they're caught red-handed, people can't even believe it. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to. That's the thing. I don't want to. I can't. It's because who they are is invested in this system. If the system falls, they fall. Their control, their authority, their credibility, their benevolence, their relationship with God. Oh, in God we trust, and you've treated us like you've been lying to us this whole time. Oh. Everything falls. They don't want that. They'd rather live in an illusion at your expense, then unveil the truth. So they are accomplices to these murders, these genocides around the world. It was not a problem back then, the same systems of today. Oh, you gotta murder and slaughter and completely eradicate an entire people so you can make better use of their land and resources because that's what the destiny, the manifest destiny of the world has told you? Okay, we approve of that. Insert in colonialism around the world. Attack, attack, attack. Approve, approve, approve. Thumbs up, guys. You guys are doing a great fucking job. Put more military bases around the world. We agree. And we'll continue to defend your actions around the world. You're doing a great job. That was during the colonial days. They're still doing that shit today. Oh, you want to go in Africa? You want to go in the Congo and protect the fact that we still have technology? Make those fucking slaves dig that cobalt out of the earth. You force them. If you got to, you fucking kill them. Child labor. No different than what they're doing with like Nike. Nike, biggest shoes and clothes in the whole damn world. Sweatshops. Oh well, so what? I don't care. I love it. These are the coolest pair of shoes you can have. Jordan, mouth zip shut. How much fucking money do you need? So democracy, false flags, capitalism, Democrats and Republicans, assassinating of our leaders, both in the United States and around the world. Economic hitmen, sending people out there to destroy entire countries, putting their own leaders who will follow their belief systems and won't fight the Western establishment, killing or even suiciding the leaders who are for the people and putting their own leaders in there. Has their benevolence been vetted? Absolutely not. I'm only halfway through this fucking list. And it's absurd for me to even think that people still believe in this shit. False flags, assassinations, economic hitmen. Cigarettes used to be recommended by doctors. This system is a cigarette recommended by the doctor of the new world, of the evolved human. From a monkey. Hey, cigarettes are good for you. They're okay. Oop, we made a mistake. Oopsie. They're actually killing you. Same thing with fluoride. Fluoridating your water. It's for the benefit of your teeth. Why the fuck am I drinking it then? Well, we gotta take care of your teeth. The Nazis used to fluoridate their fucking water. Nope, it's okay. We're number one. God bless America. Vaccines. We all know what they're doing now. How deep that push is. Recommended by doctors. Hey, we got fucking doctors on our side, man. Who are you? Do you have a doctorate? No, I didn't fucking think so. Shut your mouth. Put your mask on. Go to work. Shut your fucking mouth. Get your shot. Shut your mouth. Chemotherapy. Now that they've recommended the cigarettes to you, now that they have millions, hundreds of thousands and millions of people who are now suffering from this, now how are we going to help you? We'll give you chemotherapy. Has that been fucking vetted? Absolutely not. But they sell it as if it's a benefit to you, filling your body with poison. This whole system is chemotherapy. They give you the cancer, they give you the solution, and the solution is more dangerous than the damn cancer they gave you in the first place. Cigarettes, vaccines, chemotherapy. The food has cancer in it. Your deodorant, aluminum. Chemtrails, aluminum. Water, fluoride. These dyes, red dyes, yellow dyes, all cancer causing. No questions asked. This is the new world. Everything's good. Weather manipulation. They're pushing that this is great to have weather manipulation, but not connecting the dots between weather manipulation and events like Katrina. They create the problem, then when you need help, they don't even show up, so more of you die. And all they have to do is deny it, because their credibility in the eyes of these mind-controlled idiots, they think they're king shit. They're doing their best. They wouldn't do such a thing. They wouldn't just let Americans die in Katrina. How could you believe such a thing? You must think that they also were part of 9/11. You don't believe that there were weapons of mass destruction Education. Manipulating the education. Chemtrailing your mind. Controlling the minds of your future generations for 13 years. You can't get those childhood years back. They know that. This is why they take your children right when they're ready to start learning and repeating stuff. We think that education is for us. Never. Never was. It was backed and funded by the Rockefellers, amplified by the system itself. The military-industrial complex. That's a known thing that's out there. It's a complex. It's a fucking disease. But it's accepted. They know. They even teach you about this in their books. And that, in many ways, is even worse because it's like, oh, well, we can even show them our hand. We can show them what we're doing, and they still won't do anything about it. They're so lost, so loving of us, that we can tell them that we are criminals, and they will still love us as long as they believe that we're doing it for them. As long as they believe it, you can do whatever you want to anybody else. They did it back in the day, they're doing it now. Evolving from the military-industrial complex now to transhumanism. They've taken over your land and your resources. Now they want to take over your body, your mind. They already got your mind. Now they're coming for your body. Got your soul, signing your soul on your birth certificate. Taking your mind with the education system. Taking your body with transhumanism. And all these technology. Putting phones and computers in the hands of these children before they can even walk. They learn how to scroll before they learn how to crawl. Sustainability. Oh, the belief that they want the world to be sustainable after they done fucked the whole world. Now it's all about sustainability. This is the woke culture on a international scale. People like Elon Musk pushing those keywords every day. Now he's seen as a superhero with the Republicans, Alex Jones. And white people are going to jump on that bandwagon with their hands up like they're on a fucking roller coaster. Oh, I love this shit. Without question. Obama wanted us to put solar energy everywhere. That can't be bad. The New World Order. All of these adding up to already being under a world order. Now they just want a new one so people accept it. Once they accept that, they can evolve their next moves to be even bigger. Instead of making just moves based upon countries, now they can make moves based upon the entire world. Fact checkers. The authority on what is right and wrong. Pretty much the basis to this entire video. Why people believe that this system is benevolent. What makes them so vested into this world. Well, they have systems like fact checkers that are out there to tell you what's right and what's wrong. What's true and what's just a conspiracy theory. Because they care about you. These fact checkers are no different than the internal investigators of police crimes. They're policing themselves. They're fact checking themselves. You think they're going to tell the fucking truth about it? No. They're going to reinforce the illusions that benefit their bigger illusions. They're going to protect their systems. Here's the justice system, another one. It's supposed to be blind and for you. It's not blind. That's been confirmed. The justice system is not for us. It has its origins in slave catching. The police department has its origins in slave catching. Your government used to scalp the indigenous people of this land and pay people. They weaponized, they militarized civilians to go find people, take their land, and take their scalps. These are your presidents. People like Andrew Jackson, whose nickname was Sharp Knife or Sharp Blade, to reference the fact that he was weaponizing people to scalp us. And he's sitting on a $20 bill. This is how that's reinforced, as if nothing is wrong, everything is okay. They weren't that bad. Come on, guys. You guys are overreacting. They only lynched a few people. They only scalped a few people. They only stole a little bit. No, they stole all the land. They killed all of our people. They poisoned all of our people. They poisoned all the minds. They poisoned your fucking people. But don't you have a computer? Don't you have Don't you have a house? Don't you have this? Don't you have that? What? This system gave that to you. Oh, you're so ungrateful. Fuck you. 10 times over. The corruption goes up and down and throughout this whole system. There's no way that any sane person would believe that this world is benevolent in any way. Period. This system is attacking your sanity, your ability to consume information, the way you think. This is why none of these systems have been vetted. The system itself has never been vetted. It's because, well, first of all, you've been disempowered to believe that you do not have the power to think for yourself, to vet them. But the information is also not available to vet them. Not saying that it's not out there, only saying that, referencing back to the Stockholm Syndrome, even if the information is available, they will still revert back to what is comfortable, what they know. And if they've known the mind controls of their kidnappers for the last 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years, generations of years, as if that's the only thing they've known, then that's the only thing that exists. And there's no way that you or anybody else can convince them or even influence them in the slightest to vet this system. The processor is broken.